So this is our first year ever tapping maple trees to make maple syrup. It all started when my 13-year-old son said, "Hey, can we try that this year?" And it has snowballed into a bigger production than I ever planned. And we're about 2 weeks into it, and it's been super cold the last few days. So I just want to share with you a few of the little lessons that I have learned while attempting to figure out how to make maple syrup. Lesson 1, the amount of maple sap you get can vary from day to day. It all depends on the temperature, if it's sunny outside, but the most important thing is that the temperature is below freezing at night and above freezing during the day. Now it is barely above freezing today. I am so cold, but amazingly, we actually are getting a little bit of sap today, where we haven't had any in about 3 or 4 days because it's been quite chilly. Last week we had a few days that were like mid to low 40s, and some of the trees were giving off 2.5, 3 gallons of sap a day. So I was coming back, we have 45 trees tapped. I was coming back with 60, 70 gallons of sap. This week has been chillier and it's about to go into a deeper freeze. So I am honestly today maybe getting a half a gallon at most from these trees. Some a little more, some a little less. Lesson number 2, be prepared to spend a long time doing this whole process. Whatever time you think it's going to take, probably double that. I mean, you got to spend hours outside evaporating all the water out of the sap. Then when it's down to getting almost there, you take it off the wood burning fire, you put it on another pot. I put mine on a little propane heater outside, and when it is just close enough, I take it inside and finish it off so it has the right water amount to be considered maple syrup. I mean, to just even do the initial boil of the sap, doing the evaporator, you're going through a lot of firewood. You're going to stand out there for hours, kind of checking on this, make sure everything's okay, that it doesn't get the sap level doesn't get down too far and everything starts burning, because then all this work would be just a huge waste of time. But at the rate it actually evaporates is maybe like a gallon an hour. My husband's trying to work that out to make it a little bit faster and a little more efficient. He even built himself a little RO machine. He is absolutely enjoying this whole process. I'm just going to let him go. But yeah, be prepared to spend a long time. It's not a quick process, but it's fun. Lesson 3 will take place in the gator because always dress for the weather. I'm an idiot and I forgot to bring gloves, so I am hiding in the gator trying to get warm before I get down to the last few buckets. Like feeling back in my toes, my hands, and even my nose is really super red. Lesson 4 is when you are going to finish the syrup, right when it gets almost done, get a hydrometer. It makes life so much easier. You can make sure you get to the bricks of 66, because I learned with the first round that I did that I was trying to get it up to that temperature at 219. Well, I did, but the problem is I tried to rush it too much. It did not turn into maple syrup. What it did turn into was sugar. So, yay, bonus, learning lesson, but yeah, that wasn't what I was intending to do. My kids absolutely loved it, and I've made more since just because, and I'm excited to bake with it sometime at some point. But yeah, so what I've learned is that when you're finishing off the maple syrup, set it up to boil at around 212, and just kind of let it gradually go up on its own. As it gets closer and closer, that temperature will rise, And right about the time it does hit 219 for our area, it is pretty much done. And then I use the hydrometer to check and make sure it is exactly where it needs to be before I pull it off the heat. And lesson number 5 that I learned, and it has been the most expensive lesson that I could have learned, is never drop your phone into a bucket of sap, because the camera will look like this. I am really hoping that it solves itself. Yeah, that phone lasted about 2 days after I did that, and now I have a new one. So those are just 5 lessons that I've learned. Whether they're important or not, who knows. But just a few things I've learned in the first 2 weeks of making maple syrup for the first time. It's been interesting. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm not like, I am done. This is too much work. It's actually been kind of fun. It's been a family event. Even my husband, who started the whole conversation off with, oh, great, another expensive hobby we're going to try, has been having a blast. He's been out building the evaporator. He built our own machine. So honestly, you don't have to go as big as we did. I think we went maybe a little too big at the first. I mean, 45 trees is a lot. So I ideally would have liked to start with 10, but you know, it is what it is. But those are just 5 little things I learned, and hopefully I don't have any more hard lessons. That costs a lot of money.